안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Thursday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon Soa in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-trends, K-people, K-everything. Today, we're joined by our co-host Bella Kim. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa, and hello to everyone joining us today at The Culture Wave. I'm Bella, and today we have some K-entertainment stories filled with energy. So stay tuned for that coming up shortly.
And Bella, of course, is full of energy as always.
Yes.
Now, before we begin, though, I want to ask you a question. Bella, do you like to knit?
Knitting,
Yes.
wow, yes. Knitting, yes. I used to knit a lot when I was a student. Not too much these days, but I do remember I used to always, start knitting because I want, scarf or a hat. But usually my mom always, finishes it off. How about you, Soa? Do you like to knit?
Well, to be honest, I'm not really good at doing things with my hands, but I like to sometimes watch videos that go viral with people knitting.
Right.
And it's just really fulfilling to see the process itself and, of course, also the end product.
Results, yeah.
Well, if you're looking for a new hobby in the new year, you might want to check out this next report. Knitting and crocheting became a popular at-home hobby during the COVID-19 pandemic, and they remain popular as people in their 20s and 30s prioritize a cost-effective spending and personal customization. Jin has the story.
With a ball of yarn and a crochet needle, even a beginner can easily make a small bag in just 2 hours. The number of views on this detailed instructional video is almost 2 million. Knitting and crocheting became hobbies of interest during the COVID-19 pandemic when many were forced to stay at home. But their popularity remains strong.
It's not a hobby that negatively affects your health, so it really is for everyone. It doesn't need electricity or much space, so it's also very mobile. It's easy to teach anyone with just some needles.
The conventional belief that needlework is a solo hobby has been broken, and it is becoming a healing culture that friends and couples can do together. With more related content on social media, needlework is becoming more accessible. From tools to various sample projects, one-stop knitting shops are crowded with needleworkers. Sales at these knitting shops have increased threefold from 3 years ago.
I come occasionally. I do it at home as well, but there's something more healing about doing it here with other people.
I get a sense of security, and it's satisfying to think I have a new hobby.
From learning how to hold the needle to making the first knot, those interested can easily find instructions through a simple search online. Like meal kits, there are packaged kits that contain yarn, needles, and design patterns, which makes it possible for it to be a self-taught hobby. But there are also various introductory classes available for knitting and crocheting beginners. The knotting and unknotting can sometimes get frustrating, but thinking of gifting it to friends or family quickly makes it enjoyable. The variety of items that are being knitted has expanded, from hair ties and keychains to cardigans and full outfits. This is in line with a recent growing trend of taking the time to create more unique, individualized items.
I think people have started to put more values on things they cannot just purchase. As more people look to invest their time to find joy, there has been a boost in knitting among young people, making it spread faster.
A rise in alternative consumption culture has also been observed, as the younger generation who used to be busy adapting to trends are finding their own ways to survive an era of high consumer prices. Jin, Arirang News.
Time for some K-entertainment news with Bella Kim. Bella, as you have hinted before, you have a very energetic story to start us off.
That's right. With the new year starting, most of the songs that a lot of people listen to with the new year is Fighting 해야지, fighting 해야지. It's 17th unit 부석순 BSS's Fighting. Well, BSS made a comeback with their second single album, TELEPARTY on Wednesday. The album conveys the message, if you're happy at this moment, anyone can feel youthful regardless of age. TELEPARTY features 3 songs in total: CBZ Prime Time, Happy Alone, and Love Song.
Nice titles, but CBZ, what does that stand for?
Well, CBZ is actually the title track of the album, and it's short for 청바지, which translates to jeans in English. Now, this is just the translation, word-for-word translation. What it really means is 청춘은 바로 지금, which translates to prime time, or this is your time to shine in English. It's actually a famous chant for cheers when you're drinking in Korea.
I see.
And all 3 members, Seungkwan, Hoshi, and GK, participated in writing the lyrics for all tracks of the album. And the music video for CBZ also saw a spectacular cameo lineup with singer Jung-hwa and also actor Moon Sang-hoon. Now, TELEPARTY, this album is filled with energy. It's such a perfect song to, listen to during the new year, starting with the new year. And you definitely want to give it a listen when you need that extra positive energy.
Well, Puseok-sun always gives that positive and energetic vibe, just like you, Bella. And now let's have an exciting update on a film that we actually talked about before on the show.
Right, we talked about it several times on our show. It's the film Harbin. The Korean film Harbin has been sold to 117 countries. Now, this news was announced by its distributor CJE&M on Wednesday. They also noted that it is very meaningful that a film based on a Korean historical event has been sold to 117 countries. Harbin has already premiered in some countries, including the US, Singapore, and Indonesia, with releases scheduled in Australia, New Zealand, Taiwan, and many more later this month. And now the film portrays An Jung-gun and independence fighters on their journey to Harbin Station to assassinate Ito Hirobumi. The cast include Hyunbin, Park Jung-min, Jo Woo-jin, Jeon Yeo-bin, and Lee Dong-wook. Since its release on December 24th here in Korea, the film has topped the box office for 16 consecutive days, surpassing a cumulative audience of 3.77 million.
It's really great to hear if you have historical movies really doing good, not only domestically, but also abroad, because this is then another chance for people in other countries to know more about Korea's history and not K-pop and only, other K-food, K-pop, and the more, let's say, modern K-wave items. But Bella, we're gonna end off with another movie, but a very different movie.
Yes,
very
it's not
cute
a movie. Yes, it's a cute movie. If you like animation, you might be familiar with Korean animated film 마당을 나온 암탉, or in English, Leafy, A Hand into the Wild. Well, the 4K remastered version of the film will be released exclusive at Megabox theaters on January 22nd. The film was originally released back in 2011 and attracted over 2.2 million viewers, making it the highest grossing Korean animated film to this date. Based on the children's book of the same name by author Hwang Sun-mi, the film tells the story of Leafy, a hen who is destined to spend her life laying eggs in the chicken coop, and her journey to find freedom. And along the way, she adopts a discarded duck egg and grows into a mother. Now, the voices of the characters are played by Moon So-ri, Yoo Seung-ho, and Choi Min-sik, some of the familiar names. And the remastered version has been created using AI superscaler technology, which enhances video content to the highest quality. It's a really great film for, all ages to watch. So definitely, check it out when you have the time.
Right, for many generations. And let's see whether the movie can attract even more viewers than, I think, 14 years ago.
Yes, 2011.
Right? All right, thank you very much, Bella, for those updates.
My pleasure.
And now time to check out other culture-related news with our AI anchor, Ari.
Welcome to the Culture Wave AI News. Let's get started with today's top story. Culture Minister Yoo In-chun visited Gyeongju, the host city for the 2025 APAC Summit, to review preparations for the event, touring around the key sites, including the Gyeongju National Museum and Bruguksa Temple. He promised thorough preparations to ensure world leaders and CEOs experience the true value of Korean culture. pointing out that Gyeongju was chosen as the host city for its rich cultural heritage and historical significance. Minister Yu noted that the summit would be a prime opportunity to showcase how K-culture has been carefully nurtured and developed over time. The ministry plans to support a range of cultural events in Gyeongju throughout the year, featuring various K-content, arts, and performances. The National Museum of Korea will host a special exhibition this June to mark the 20th anniversary of its relocation to Yongsan. The exhibition will focus on early Joseon-era art, showcasing over 250 artifacts from the 200-year period between the founding of the Joseon dynasty and the Imjin War. Highlights include the portrait of King Taejo Iseonggae and Choil Seongkwan-do, a wall painting of the rising sun from Gyeonggak Hall in Changdeokgung Palace. The exhibition will run through the end of August. This weekend at the Sejong Center for the Performing Arts in Seoul, renowned Korean ballet dancers at prestigious international ballet companies will come together for the Global Ballet Star Gala. Performers include those from the Dutch National Ballet and Russia's Mariinsky Ballet. During a press conference earlier this week, artistic directors from leading global ballet companies commended Korean dancers for their exceptional training and remarkable performance abilities, highlighting their skill in mastering diverse repertoires. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more cultural updates and engaging discussions coming your way. The Seokguram Grotto and Bulguksa Temple in Gyeongju, the Jongmyo Shrine and Changdeokgung Palace in Seoul, and Hwasong Fortress in Suwon. These are just a few of 16 South Korean UNESCO World Heritage Sites. For today's Hallyu People, we meet with a Hallyu fan from Indonesia who is spreading word about Korea's heritage. We are now joined by Global National Heritage Ambassador as well as language tutor and interpreter Mutiara Hairani. Hello, Mutiara.
Hi,
Hello.
Mutiara.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so my name is Mutiara Hairani, but you can call me Tiara.
Okay,
Yeah.
Tiara.
And I came here 4 years ago from Indonesia to Korea.
Oh, great. So, Tiara, I call you Tiara then.
Yeah, please.
First of all, we want to congratulate you for having been recognized, as a Global National Heritage Ambassador by VANK, which is the Voluntary Agency Network of Korea. So first of all, how do you feel about it?
Well, I'm so happy about it, of course, because so this Global Ambassador title, actually, it's really make me like oh, what should I do? Something like that. But I'm doing my best because I like history also. So it's like really like same with my things like I like. So when I got the title as ambassador, I really feel happy. So yeah, I want to thank like Korea Heritage Service and bank and also my families and also my teacher actually, because I have teacher that teach me about, he really teaches me so much about Korean history, Korean customs and everything about Korea. So I really want to thank him a lot.
Okay, and speaking of VANG, let's talk a little bit about this network. How did you get to join VANG?
Oh, I'm so active in Instagram actually. So, so one day when I went to Instagram, I just find that VANG is like they're looking for the ambassador for national heritage. Well, I just applied right away. Since I love history, oh, okay, that's it. This is what I want to do.
So you were the right person for it.
Yeah.
Oh, and you applied and you became a Global National Heritage Ambassador. Please tell us what you do as an ambassador.
Okay, so as an ambassador, I have to promote, of course, I have to promote Korean national heritage, but not only Korean heritage, but also my country heritage. So I'm so happy to do both of them. So we received like missions, something like missions. So we have to create contents about 7 topics maybe, including K-food, Korean national heritage, like historical sites, in intangible cultural also, and also the culture of Indonesia.
So it's not only about promoting Korea, but also promoting Indonesia to Korea, so vice versa.
Wow.
That's great.
That must be very meaningful, you know.
Oh, it's
right?
really meaningful
Both Korean
for me.
and Indonesian.
Yes.
Now, working as an ambassador, were there any, memorable activities that comes up on top of your heads?
So in Indonesia we have batik. So batik is Indonesian traditional clothes, and I made it. I made like something like hanbok with hanbok touch with batik, and I really like to wear it. So when I meet Korean people, when I wear that, Korean people like, oh, it's really pretty. So I said, oh yeah, this is batik from Indonesia. But when I meet Indonesian people wearing it, oh, it's so pretty. Oh yeah, it's like there's like hanbok touch in here, so I can introduce hanbok with that.
Wow.
So what you're currently wearing is a batik.
Not today.
Not today. Okay. Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
So, Tiara, I'm sure that there are many differences between when it comes to cultural heritages, comparing Korea's national heritages and Indonesia's national heritages. But were there also maybe any similarities that struck you?
Okay, so after I learned about Koreans and Indonesian, I found something interesting. So in Korea, they have like 하회 별신구 달놀이 in Andong, Gyeongsangbuk-do. But Indonesia, we have wayang. It's a puppet theater, something like that. But the similarities is before they do the performance, they will do like some rites or exorcism, something like that. Like they're doing the offering to the village garden
like
deity.
a ritual.
Yeah, something like ritual. Like, wow, how can they do the same things? So they do the ritual first and then they do the performance.
Oh, I see.
So those are some similarities that you found.
Yeah.
And now I want to go back to where it all began. You came to Korea 5 years ago, but how did you get so interested in Korean culture?
Oh, so my first time to know Korea, it was, I think, 2013 when I was in my end year of high school. So at that time, my sister introduced me to Super Junior.
Oh.
Yeah. And my friends introduced me to Running Man. Yeah, and I like them. And once I like something, I really deep. I will find everything about it, and that's the start of my destiny, maybe like with Korean.
So it started with K-pop, but you're also really into Korean entertainment programs,
Yes.
which is Running Man. And I did hear that Running Man is quite popular in Southeast Asia and beyond.
Massively. So massive.
So, Tiara, now you are, however, particularly interested in Korean history, which I really find is interesting. So why is that?
Actually, I really like history since I was child. So I can say that museums are my amusement park.
Wow.
So yeah, after I get to know the Korean, and after that I tried to find out about Korean history. But at the time, 2013 and 14, there's no many Korean history material in English, and it's really hard to find. So that's when I started to learn Hangul and Korean language.
I see. So now I get why you earlier mentioned that if you like something, you really have to delve deep into it. So I see why you are a history person.
I know, and it's really not that easy to hear museum is like an amusement park.
Right. I really liked that expression.
That's very, interesting. And aside from, working as an ambassador, I heard you recently became a certified tour guide interpreter as well. So now, as a tour guide interpreter, which place would you recommend to Indonesian tourists or maybe other tourists visiting Korea, and why would you recommend that place?
Actually, there's so many beautiful places in Korea. I really want to introduce one by one.
But if you would have a limited time, where would that be?
Yeah, in Seoul, I really want to introduce like Jongmyo, because like Jongmyo has the longest wooden architectural building in the world. So I want to introduce to them. And then about the 5 palaces in Seoul, like Gyeongbokgung, Cheongdokgung, Gyeonghaegung, Deoksugung, and Changgyeonggung. Like there's no city in the world that has 5 palaces in one city. So yeah, I really want to introduce. Oh, and once more, I really want to recommend Andong Hahue village and also Gyeongju Yangdong village, because if you go there, you can see the well-preserved hanok. Not only the new hanok,
traditional,
but the traditional hanok
houses in Korea. These places are really interesting to hear from the perspective of tourists, because usually, I don't want to say usually, but many people would recommend, I don't know, Myeongdong or Namsan Tower.
DDP.
Yes. So really, that's some great tips for people who really also want to go a little bit more, delve deeper into the history of Korea. Now, Tiara, I'm also really interested what kind of aspects of Korean culture currently are very popular in Indonesia.
Currently in Indonesia.
Yes.
Okay, so if we talk about K-pop, like it's already been there, like since 10 years ago. But these days, Indonesian people are like starting to like Korean snacks, and they know about yakgwa. So so when my friends come to Korea, they will ask me, Tiara, where can I buy the yakgwa here, or something like that.
Which is a sweet dessert here
Yes.
in Korea, traditional dessert, yes.
And if you go to Indonesia, people in Indonesia, especially the youth, they start to communicate in Korean language, even though it's little.
Wow.
So in the past, we said like, oh, I love you so much, something like that in English. But these days in Indonesia, people like say, 사랑해, 사랑해요. And the K-pop fans, they really like communicate each other with 진짜, 이게 정말.
진짜?
Yeah.
Wow.
진짜.
Which means really, of course. So that's interesting. And it's kind of a moment that makes us proud,
Very
I would have to
proud,
say.
Yeah.
Now, last but not least, Tiara, what are your future goals as an ambassador that promotes culture between Korea and Indonesia, and also as well as your goals as an interpreter or a tour guide?
Okay, so I had dreams as a diplomat.
Oh.
But yeah, it's too late for me to become a diplomat now.
You are actually already a diplomat.
That's why. So I know my dream is to become a civilian diplomat. So I'm a civilian, but also doing what the diplomat do. As diplomat, create like good relations between country and country. So as an interpreter, as a teacher, I will like, I want to like, what I have to say, like, I want to make a good image about Korea and Indonesia, because when I'm in front of Korean people, I'm the face of Indonesia. And when I face Indonesian people, as someone living in Korea, I'm become the face of Korea. So yeah, I want to keep these good relations between Korea and Indonesia.
You already sound like a diplomat.
Oh, thank
Tiara.
you. Thank you so much.
Wow, well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you very much, Tiara or Mutiara, for joining us today on the program, and also for your role in promoting Korea's natural heritage out there to the world. I mean, especially because it's not something that foreigners are exposed to that much, like they are exposed to K-dramas or K-pop. So thank you very much, and hope to talk to you again.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. And 감사합니다. Thank you, Bella, to you. And we will see you actually again tomorrow on Friday.
Yes, I'll see you back tomorrow.
And thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. And hope you join us again on Friday at 2 p.m. Korea time, and maybe one day here in Korea. Thanks for watching.